John's just retired from astronautics. He was one of the last men to make a moonwalk. John, are you all right, son? You're white as a sheet and you're trembling.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf. It runs through the darkness as it hunts its quarry. And that quarry is man. The mark of the man-wolf. A man-wolf.
Hello, and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast. This season, we're talking about Marvel's number 2 lycanthrope, John Jameson, a.k.a. the Moonrot Man-Wolf, a.k.a. Lobo, Furry Freak, Night Brute, Fang Snout. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balcom.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We've got our soul brother here, Brad Elmore. Hey, Brad.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for being on.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely to see you.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Cool. So I don't think we have any business here. I mean, y'all know what's going on. We're on Patreon, all that stuff. We're looking for, I think we can call season 4 right now if we want, but do you want to call it?
I think we should. We should definitely call it.
So we're doing Son of Satan for season 4. That won the vote.
You motherfuckers. I told you before the show even was truly started that if you ever did a Son of Satan, that it's like, I'm on every fucking episode. Now I know that's not possible, but I'm going to at least have to pretend to be miffed for a while, you know?
Okay.
Oh no, well, we can up your guest appearances for that season. I think it would be criminal not to, since you've been talking about Son of Satan since we first met you.
There are two versions of Marvel that I feel are like my left and right hands, and that's Cosmic Marvel and 70s Cosmic Marvel and cereal box Saturday morning Satanism 70s Marvel. I'm so happy about this.
Yeah.
You should have done Warlock, but I'll do Son of Satan.
Okay.
You made a really good pitch for Warlock, though, I have to say. It was an impassioned pitch.
Yeah, and I picked Jacob and his wife up from the train station. I had to run into the comic shop to get some stuff waiting for me, and I saw the hardcover Starlin Warlock collection on the shelf, and I was like, damn, I should buy that. I feel like, because this is the day you were like, give me kind of a tongue lashing through text, like, dude, what are you doing? You've never read Adam Warlock? What's wrong with you?
I mean, it's a little weird.
It's so good, though. I maintain it's maybe the best Bronze Age Marvel story.
Wow.
I think there's an argument for that, for sure. But I think it was funny, Brad, that we put to the Patreon subscribers, like, okay, vote for what you think we should do for season 4. And yeah, Son of Satan is our number 1. Aside from the fact that
we put it to the public. Anyone can vote.
That's right. We put it to the public. Even though, Brad, you had talked about us doing Son of Satan, Matt, when he gave me a list of like possible seasons to do after we're done with the Werewolf brand, Son of Satan was his number 1. So it was kind of a foregone conclusion, but we put it to the public. The public voted. So Son of Satan it is.
I would have been happy with any of them. Ghost Rider, I have, because it'd be proper Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider in the 70s. Which I have almost the full run now, except for the expensive early appearances and issues.
Yeah.
You have to let us know what you need, what holes you got there. We might be able to work something out.
Ghost Rider first appearance. That thing's like,
you got one of those laying around, Matt?
It's a Marvel premiere, man.
Is that Spotlight 5?
Marvel Spotlight 5, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't.
Going right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 9.6.
I got my prize. My prize of that little run is the Starlin issue where he races death. Ghost Rider should be a race road comic. Every time they get on the road and have him doing stuff, and it's more existential, it works. Every time they try to make him a superhero comic, fucking falls on his face.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. So, yeah, we're still looking for that name once we rebrand ourselves, something that reflects that we are in the 70s, that we're doing monster or macabre or strange stuff. But, yeah, so if you do suggest a name that we take, I think that we would be happy to throw you a shirt once we have a graphic designer make that logo up. So,
okay, we're talking comics. I'm just going to get really nerdy for a sec.
Okay.
So Son of Satan, real quick, has a trident that's made of netheranium. I think that's how you pronounce it, which is a hell's version of like a metal.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember
a mystical hell metal. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. One time they sent Wolverine to hell. And I was like, this, and it was Jason Aaron, and he loves getting into that Marvel bullshit. He really understands it.
Yeah.
And he missed the opportunity to lace the adamantium with netheranium so that then he could fight hell creatures. I'm like, come on, it's right there, man. And I'll never forgive him for that. I've sent him 17 letters. He's never responded.
I forgot that Logan went to hell.
Yeah, definitely.
You know why he forgot it? Because he didn't get his fucking adamantium laced with netheranium.
I think Jason has too many irons in the fire.
He has a lot of books he writes every month.
This is a while before. His King Conan is crushing it. It's great.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I need to start picking that up.
Scalped is one of the great Vertigo books and one of the few to really stick its landing.
Agreed.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
I just came into a bunch of secondhand comics that my wife's coworker found in the free table of his apartment, and they're all like near mint or mint, bagged, boarded. But it's there was the first maybe 10 or 12 issues of Fred Van Lente's Conan. Do you know anything about that? Have you read that?
No.
Okay. I think it's Dark Horse, or I'm not sure who it was, but
Busiek had a run, I think, for Dark Horse as well.
Yeah, I love the Busiek stuff.
Yeah, it's all right. I think Aaron's the guy who nailed it. I really do. I'm obsessed with his Conan.
Yeah, that's 24 issues, like 2 years, right?
It's 12.
It's only 12.
It's like a 12 issue run, a nice little collection, really cheap right now. And then there's the King Conan's only going to be 6 issues.
Okay, cool.
Which I think that Marvel Unlimited still doesn't have the license for that. So I don't think any of them show up digitally at all. I think you have to get hard copies of those, which I'm totally fine with. So I'm just going to order it. I'm just going to.
I had to use my Marvel Unlimited because Comixology has turned into the most unusable nightmare ever.
Oh, since Amazon acquired it?
Yep.
I'm like, it is bad. I don't know how to buy a thing or do a thing. It's just completely a mystifying enterprise. And I am so fucking pissed about it. So I went to Marvel Unlimited, and now I had to use that on a fucking desktop like some sort of heretic,
an animal.
Like an animal. My life is so hard.
It's so weird that they acquired Comixology and then just like
ruined
they're just
it.
following Apple's like iTunes rules, like just take it and then break it.
It's fix it till it's broken.
Yeah.
Like just keep fixing it till it's broken. Oh
man.
Yeah.
All right, so we're here to read the final issue of Creatures on the Loose, which is issue 37. And this is one that I had. And this cover is by Gil Kane with Tom Palmer inks, possibly Tom Palmer colors. And I'm a huge fan of this cover. I really like let me describe it for the listener. So we've got a chamber inside of the space station. Everyone's clearly in 0 Gs because they're just floating around. And there's a bunch of red-clad bald men and one woman all pointing guns towards the man-wolf, who's in the center of the composition, holding one of these soldiers over his head. And I really like that he's got pouches now. Like his tunic looks a little less goofy with like pouches.
It's a utility belt.
Yeah, he's got like vitamins, like freeze-dried astronaut ice cream or something in there.
Oh.
And,
everything about Man-Wolf is so ridiculous that it comes back around into
awesome. Yeah.
That's what we found by going through these issues. Is exactly
it does
that.
like the SNL thing where it's like it's not funny anymore. Now it's funny again because it's so unfunny, and it's just a weird cycle. I really like the way Kane did his face and Palmer. He looks more like a Japanese, like an oni, like a demon or a yokai
totally
monster, or he looks like a Wendigo, like not Marvel Wendigo TM, but like just like the spirit to the Wendigo. Looks very savage and strange.
We've never seen Man-Wolf look like this before. This is a completely different look. I mean, from the tunic, the utility belt, he looks a little stout around the middle as well. And yeah, his face and fur have never looked like this, which it's a departure, but I love it.
Orbit adds 10 pounds. So don't.
I'm not judging. I'm not.
Yeah.
What do you think of this cover, Brad?
I love it. I love this fucking comic book. I love this whole enterprise. I think I said last time I didn't know, outside of his Spider-Man appearances and his world in there, I didn't know this even existed. And like I said, the cover of just that collected edition with the Pegasus, he's in space and he's like, he looks like a buccaneer, but I'm like, is this the greatest comic of all time? And we're starting to get there.
Yeah.
And with this cover and with this issue, I'm just going to stake my claim right now because I think we need to hear it.
Okay.
While he doesn't have the cool factor that Werewolf by Night does, because Jack Russell's named Jack Russell. He's got bitchin' hair. You know, he's got a Plug design. You know.
Yes.
But they never like Mike Constant. They never. I love those comics, but they never quite figure that dude out, or he just kind of flounders through his own title.
Yeah.
This is the better Marvel Werewolf by leaps and by bounds. In just this issue, he does stuff. He's dangerous. He's already in fucking space. It rules. It's fucking insane. And the supporting cast, instead of like a bunch of librarian types and people who you're like, why just tell this kid to fuck off? It's like this Stroud guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Amazing. He's like Ray Bannon. I love him. He refers to himself at one point as the Boy Wonder. This is fucking great. This comic book has space, fucking a space Conan, like He-Man characters, a guy in the strangest thigh-high boots I've ever seen. It's almost too much good stuff.
Yeah.
It is.
It's overflowing.
Yeah.
Our cups runneth over.
And it's 18 pages, rips right through.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it does. And like you said, Brad, this issue sets up the next phase, which would have hopefully have been a multi-issue arc, but really we only get 2 more issues of Marvel Premiere after this, and that's when it really, really takes off into bizarre territory. But this issue is great. It has everything that you talked about. It has great action. It has a dangerous werewolf. I think that's been the consensus this season, is that we like Jack Russell better than John Jameson, but the Man-Wolf is just a better werewolf than Werewolf by Night is.
I like John Jameson better than I like Jack. I think Jack Russell's just designed cool, but John Jameson, he's like does shit.
No, he does shit. I
mean, he's nary gone to any beach or any woods.
Oh, come on. You love it when Jack Russell goes to the beach and he loves the woods. Like, no, I love Jack Russell. John Jameson, he's a man's man. He's a fucking astronaut. Like, he's an interesting character.
Everything is better. Literally everything is better. He just isn't designed by Plug. That's the only thing. Because I'm like floored by this whole thing. I'm like, wait, this Spider-Man villain becomes a space buccaneer werewolf? Like, how did I not know? How did this exist without me? I'm into this.
Yeah, Jack Russell's werewolf. He's more the kind of werewolf you want to go camping with. Like, you just see him sit around the fire with a paps, like,
absolutely. He's the guy you want to bro down with. But
if a bear came into camp, he'd be the first one to run off.
Yeah,
and he's like a pissant. So many times he's felled by like regular dude guy.
Yeah.
You know,
we know.
Like a good right hook can just put a werewolf down. Whereas this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah, he's nuts.
It takes like 30 guys in jetpacks in 0 G's.
And I love that Kraft. We're just jumping all over this issue, but I love that Kraft just said, like, we've already established that his proximity to the moon is his power base, so let's put him right in front of the moon, right next to the moon.
Well, yeah. We're not going to bury the lead. We're going to fly him to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
Rules.
All right. Okay, yeah, let's jump in because we're all too excited. I mean, this is a great, Brad. I'm so happy you're on this issue with us. This is the perfect issue that I wanted you here with us. So yeah, I'm so glad. Okay, so our opening page, the creators for this issue are David Kraft, writer, George Perez and Fred Kita, illustrators, Dave Hunt, letters, Irene Vartanoff, colors, and Len Wein, editor. So a little bit on Fred Kita. He was a Japanese-American artist. He did his first story in military comics in April of 42. So he's right around the birth of comics. He went over to Hillman, did a long run on Airboy. He was I don't know if you guys have ever read that. He's like a fighter pilot character.
Oh yeah, I know Airboy.
Not the old
Super
stuff.
cool.
I read like the 80s revival or something.
Oh yeah, there was an 80s revival. But yeah, the Golden Age stuff is pretty badass, and he did a lot of that. And then he went to Lev Gleason and worked a lot on Crime Does Not Pay and Black Diamond Western. So he did really cool Golden Age shit. And then he moved over to Marvel. His first Marvel gig was an Atlas era story in All True Crime 48, and that was in about 1952. I know his work from the Atlas era war comics like Battlefield. That's where I'd seen a lot of his art. And he weirdly took a bit of a break like in the 60s. I think he went and worked on newspaper strips. Like he worked on Flash Gordon and like Steve Canyon and did that thing that all, Golden Age illustrators want. They just want to work on a fucking newspaper strip comic because that's money and prestige somehow. And so I think he did that in the 60s, came back to Marvel in the 70s, and then he was basically just inking. But then
is this Roy Thomas right now? Or it's Len Wein.
Wein's
yeah, we're in Len
been
Wein
at the
now.
reins for like 6 months or something. He's probably halfway through.
So Thomas has just left.
Yeah, I mean he's still there, I think, but
writing, but he's not the editor.
Yeah, no, he's not the editor. Yeah,
but we all know that Thomas has like a crazy love of Golden Age stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and I wonder if this was like a Thomas hire of like, oh, that's the Airboy guy. We got to get him.
I think that's
give him some work.
I think that's a good call, Brad, because he's done that before. He did that. He rehired Bill Everett. He likes those. He loves those Golden Age guys. Yeah. I mean, George Rousseau too. He
does the foreword on the collected Marvel Masterworks of Volume 1 of the Submariner.
That's right. Yeah,
He's huge. It's very clear he loves those characters, and he even brings them back as much as he can in his tenure in Marvel, and loves the Golden Age guys.
Yeah. No, he absolutely does. I guess last thing about Fred Kita, I think I knew him best from Atlas Era War stuff, but he actually was the main artist on the Spider-Man newspaper strip in the 80s. So I think that's probably where I first saw him. He was amazing. A long run on that. So yeah, really, really cool guy. And I'll jump to Irene Vartanoff real quickly because this is the first time we've seen her. She's got an interesting bio. So she was a prolific letter writer to DC. So she wrote like 100 letters that were published in different DC comics, like in the 60s. And then she went over to Marvel, did a bunch of production jobs. In September of 75, she started as a colorist. And she stays just until about May of 78, and she does different production jobs. She worked on a lot of books like Defenders, Captain Marvel, Black Panther. And we're going to see her next in Marvel Premiere 46. She does the colors. And I think she worked under Marie Severin. She had said that Marie Severin taught her everything she needed to know about coloring. And now if you look her up, she has a website, and she writes Western themed romance novels with I think some of the titles are Captive of the Cattle Baron and Cowgirl Rescue. So it was pretty great.
Sounds pretty hot.
It sounds pretty hot. She seems like a very fun, very cool lady. So it was kind of neat that we got her for a little bit.
Clearly she knows how to party. She does. Just from those titles.
Yep. I know.
That's a salty veteran right there. She knows what's going on.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, so this is the first time I've read this. Grand Comics Database noted that Dave Hunt, who is the letterer, helped Fred Kita with the finishes.
Interesting.
I don't think I've ever heard of that happening.
No, that's crossing streams.
Yeah, so I didn't know if this is, I don't know. I didn't know if it was a rush job or a weird thing, but I don't think the art suffers. I think
Marvel Comics in the 70s?
Yeah, what?
It doesn't
with Len
look
Wein
rushed.
editing for 6 months. I'm pretty sure this is a rush job on a title that doesn't even make any sense. Creatures on the Loose, featuring a Spider-Man villain and as Garth.
And Garth. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The Galactic Barbarian with the faraway cosmic name of Garth.
I honestly, I was marveling at the art through this mostly. Like, I feel like
it's great.
George just had like an adrenaline shot through the breastbone. Like, feels like he just jumped up evolutionarily, like a level of art with layouts and approaches to the composition and stuff.
Another reason why this title is so interesting, because it's early George Perez, who like he may not like he's somebody I just kind of take for granted. But when I think of a certain type of like comic book from a certain time, like the way I think of like 60s, 70s comics, like almost like a house style, I think of like Romita, you know. But Perez like was like the Jim Lee of his day in that way. Like, I'm not saying quality or anything. We're just like, you think superhero comics is George Perez, and clearly the guy works his ass off, and it's fun to watch him like jump up. But what he's got from the beginning, clearly to me, is clarity. He's got that like, who's the Watchmen artist? What's his name again? Dave Gibbons. And who's the guy who passed away who did Preacher? Steve Dillon.
Yes, thank you.
Steve Dillon. He's got like, yes.
I know that.
He has that level of like supreme like clarity. Like there's just like a really good, really which is, it's fun to see like, holy shit, George Perez isn't full stop George Perez yet. You know?
No, not yet. But he's well on his way. And yeah, I think we've seen in these issues, the quality just jumps drastically between issues. So yeah, I agree with you guys. I think his style is so good on this. And I was really marveling at the art as well. But yeah, I like Fred Kita's finishes on these. It's clean.
Super clean.
I think that's the difference with this issue as opposed to the other ones, is there was still a bit of a roughness to the previous issues, but this is cleaner, which is a little more Marvel House style, but still so interesting, like not boring clean at all.
No, it's really sharp and decisively clean. Like it just feels very like you know what I mean, like a very establishing kind of clean, like boom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved the inking and the Kita and Perez here. Gold.
Yeah, I agree.
You have a copy of this, right, Matt?
I do, somewhere in the long box, yeah.
Oh man, I'd love to see the newsprint version of it, you know. Yeah.
So this opening page starts out with 3 small panels that are kind of zooming in on the space station that we first saw last issue. And then it's followed by this large panel showing pretty much where we left off at the end of last issue, with Garth holding the man-wolf captive with a dagger at his throat. And yeah, the moonstone is glowing. The narration reads, "Man-wolf, savage progeny of the moon. His strength and intelligence varies according to lunar phases. Aboard the orbiting space wheel midway to the moon, nothing short of a massive electrical shock is sufficient to subdue the lupine brute." So yeah, he got really shocked at the end of last issue. And so now he is, Garth has him by knife point.
What you see in the comic book, but you can't, it's inferred.
Yeah.
It's not actually there. There's clearly a Robert Fripp guitar solo blaring from page 1.
Yep.
Oh, thank you for scoring that mentally.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I am so in love with this silly comic. This is how you hook children to comic books, right here.
It is.
I love, we've already met Garth and established that he's kind of a He-Man, Blondie, Conan, Thor guy. But just the chainmail shirt, the wrestling belt. I mean, just the huge gauntlets. It's just refreshing to the 2 months between the last issue and this one. No one backed out and sobered up. I was like, what the fuck was I doing? No, They dove in and recommitted. They renewed their vows.
Everything about him is sort of standard issue, like He-Man character, except for one element. His fucking thigh highs. Yeah. That is the weirdest choice. He's got thigh high boots on. I love it. It's completely bananas.
And I love that Kraft in this brief, he was mercifully brief in his narration in this one, I feel like. I mean, there's sometimes too much dialogue, but the pacing of this is just brilliant.
Agreed.
But I love that he establishes right here, like, that thing I was talking about on the cover, that we have put the moon beast next to his power source. So he has eaten all of the Mario mushrooms. He is full, like the only thing that could even stop him last issue was being fully electrocuted by the entire energy of a space station. That's the only reason this guy bested him right here. So I love, like, Brad, I know you're appreciating that this werewolf has power, and we see it in this one so much. There's so much flexing. So on the next page, we cut to a couple close-ups of of Garth flicking with his dagger and cutting the green hemp around the necklace, and then there's a panel where the moonstone stays on his fur, and so Garth is pulling at it, and you get this weird body horror where it's like it's super glued to his fur and his skin, so he's like tugging at it. It's just kind of gross. And then there's a cool close-up of Garth as someone off panel says, "Easy with that pig sticker." And we need to I want to address this. So we meet a character on here whose last name is Preiss. I looked this up. There's a native German and a native person from Luxembourg who both said Price. So can we say Price?
We can.
Okay. So we get this great panel on the bottom 2/3 of the page that is bisected by this diagonal thing. Prez's layouts are just getting so fucking cool. But the perspective on this is like we're looking down at them on these people approaching this skirmish, and they've got green suits on, and they've got like jetpacks and laser guns. And the leader guy with the big Thunderbolt Ross mustache says, "You and your buddy ought to be more discreet about where you have spats. This core area is accessible via air shafts. I'm E. Hammond Price, and for the record, I command this station, while you, sir, are the enemy." And then he yells, "Fire!" And one of his men goes and blasts Garth into a wall of computer banks.
Marvel Universe astronauts do not fuck around.
No,
I fucking love this like squadron of like what Price is what you've decided on?
Yeah.
Silly name. He should be called Captain Jetpack. He fucking rules.
What's his code name?
That is his code name.
No, he was born Captain Jetpack. Captain was his first name. Jetpack was his last name, and he knew what he had to do with his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those inks. Like we were just talking about on the last page, like the just a very clean and defined. It almost looks kind of like Atlas era, like in some ways. I love it. I love it. Their suits changed from red to green because of obvious, aesthetic coloring choices. But that was a lie. We were told in the cover. I was told there'd be red suits.
Yeah, I'm drinking.
I'm also seeing hair, and only the woman had hair on the cover as far as I could tell. So,
all right.
But I love seeing Garth and his brooch and his thigh-high boots being fazzatted against a wall.
You're right. Those boots are such a choice. They're they're so out there.
Barbarians, and the other guy in the Barbarian Space Squad has the typical like boots with the loincloth.
Yeah.
Not Garth.
No.
Garth is like, bring these up past the knee, baby. Like,
no, that's not standard issue. He had those specially made.
Yeah.
So on the next page, one of the space soldiers says, "Hold still, will you? It's only a zip gun for maneuvering in zero gravity. The most it can do is stun you." And Garth says, "If you're seriously trying to convince me with that line, you're some jerk." And then he runs away as they're trying to shoot at him. So I don't know. So Commander Price, then he says, "You know what, Pete, you really are a jerk." So he can understand Garth. So are we not translating anymore? Have we just given that up? Because I was like, how the fuck does Price know what he said?
They made a point last issue of saying this is all translated by Kraft and Lynn.
Yeah, so maybe they're just being like, kids, don't worry about it. Let's just forget that and go straight with everyone can just understand.
It might be a computer like in the Star Treks.
Yeah, let's just say they have those little in-ear translators. So let's go with that. And so, Price says, get moving, all of you, and be sure Sleeping Beauty is trussed up nice and tight. So he's talking about the man-wolf. And then I love that you're right, Brad. This guy is such a badass. He immediately says, get over to those solar powered generators that produce the artificial gravity field and do your damnedest to destroy them. So he's just fucking his own base up now.
Yep.
Yeah, you think this guy is going to hesitate for a second because a space barbarian and a werewolf are fighting on his fucking spaceship?
It hasn't phased him one bit.
This is Tuesday for Captain Jetpack.
So yeah, the guys overload the solar generators to totally fucking destroy the artificial gravity. It just blows up at the bottom of the page. Yeah, he doesn't hesitate.
Great coloring in this issue, by the way.
Oh, I know, right?
Like that panel where he's giving that command to destroy the artificial gravity. Like it's like the control panels are like, blinking on and off, and it's just this yellow cast over him, and his eyes are colored in red. Like it just great choices.
And I'm gonna just call it now. He's played by Charlton Heston.
Ooh, nice. I was wondering if you had.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect casting.
And they don't seem
now
too
imagine
phased,
everything he says with Charlton Heston's voice.
Yeah.
And it becomes so much better,
Yeah,
what does he say? Pig sticker? That pig sticker. Like that's a Charlton Heston thing, because that guy was weird as fuck,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played Moses. That fucks anybody up.
It does.
So we've destroyed the gravity. So they made a strategic choice, or Price made a strategic choice to go zero grav. So on the next page, we have this huge panel of, they're floating in this big shaft in the center of the space station, and everyone's just free floating around. And after that explosion, it says sound and gravity both disappear. Then intangible victims of the explosion, swept away in sensory chaos. Jetpacks and self-propulsion units are readied as, straining through the painful silence, hearing returns. So that was such a big explosion. It actually deafened everybody for a second. And they're all just kind of recoiling and then kicking on their jetpacks and their zip guns.
We can't gloss over this.
No.
This comic book has a space station with barbarians on it that now has a bunch of men in jetpacks fighting a werewolf.
Yes.
This is you can't do that on television, kids. Like, this is just too good.
It is.
Yeah. The visual,
it's like page 2.
Yeah, exactly. The visual storytelling on here, those guys floating around. I mean, the detail in all the control panels and the shattered glass tube as this Plug plasma and Kirby Crackle's leaking out of this broken thing. So they did some damage to their own ship beyond the gravitational thing. So they're saying, hey, we may be cut off from the control room, but without gravity, there's no way those space brigands can keep us from ascending the ventilator passage, says Price. And this bottom row of panels here is just gorgeous. So they're using these little guns the way Iron Man uses his propulsor rays to fly around. So they're just swooping down like swallows through the stuff. And Price says, and we've got an ace, since our new captive gives us bargaining power. And they shoot into this shaft, and then you see a cross section of them flying like we did last issue up through the shaft with their jetpacks and zip guns. And it says a team of 30 people inhabits this semi-secret space station. They are all in effect prisoners for 36 hours. The command area has been held by aliens. Yet that won't last forever.
Those bisected panels with the black and the guys just shooting up a tube.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hang one of those on my wall.
I know.
Yeah, so good.
Especially with the little caption that's there in the black with the yellow one. I think that comes maybe later, but I'm that is so cool. That's such good. That really reminds me of something Golden Age.
Yeah.
A lot of this does. Yeah. I think between Irene's colors and Fred Kita's finishing, I mean, this has a real Golden Age feel to it, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got some major Weird Science kind of EC vibes off of this, but definitely ramped up for the 70s.
Definitely. So, but we get a little switch on the next page. We switch focus to the offices of the Daily Bugle, where the narration reads, on Earth, it's just another day, and each man behaves according to his nature. One slings webs, and we see Spider-Man swinging down past the Daily Bugle. And
Narc.
Yeah, exactly. There's our narc. The next panel says, another publishes newspapers and yells, which was my favorite narration of this issue. On that panel, we see that the headline of the Daily Bugle is Christine Saunders missing. And then, we see JJJ yelling, and he's yelling at poor Robbie, which is his favorite pastime. And he's saying, blast it, Christine's been gone 3 days. You hear me, Robbie? 3 days, and I won't rest until she's found. I like how he says, that meathead Stroud trailed me 24 hours a day when John was AWOL, but where is he now? So yeah, that is a good point.
But that's a great Rob Halford pose he's doing right there.
Yeah.
Very Judas Priest.
It is, yeah. So yeah, Robbie's trying to reason with him and just being like, we're trying. Like, there are no clues. Like, not even the FBI. And JJJ cuts him off. It's like, I don't want excuses. I want her located. It's like, Christine and John are engaged to be married. And when my son comes back from that space flight, I want the two of them to be reunited. So yeah, he runs out, he leaves the office, goes into the elevator. And we see a kind of shadowy figure next to him in the elevator who says, I have some information that may interest you, Jonah Jameson. Jonah's like, who are you and what do you want? But yeah, I think we kind of know who that guy is already.
Yes, the mystery has continued. I was worried this was going to be abandoned, but it's been following through. On the next page, we get a kind of a strange close-up of this character who's wearing a fedora and a trench coat. But you see his face. He looks like Molten Man, like, or something. Like he's all cast in yellow. And he says, Christine Saunders is alive. And if you come with me, I'll take you to her. And Jonah, we get a nice close-up of Jonah grimacing, saying, Mister, I'll go with you. But if she's been hurt, or if this is some kind of joke, believe me, you'll regret it. And as they're leaving the elevator, he says, I speak the truth.
So creepy.
And so this whole page, like, to me, it feels like Perez is just like in autopilot, just banging out iconic, like, poster-worthy panels just left and right in his sleep. This side panel of the car zooming along. So Jonah's got in a car with this strange dude. And then we get this row of, like, interior shots with, like, the dashboard lights playing on their face in cool kind of eerie ways with yellow and green and orange light. And Jonah says, where are we going? And the guy says, someplace quite near, yet ever so far. And Jonah's like, huh?
Yeah, Jonah being a newspaper man's like, that actually doesn't make any fucking sense. I hate to be an editor right now, but what?
Yeah. And then on the bottom here, we pull up to a familiar scene. We see the weird psychedelic leopard printed gate or whatever of the wall around where Craven was in that last thing. So he says, surprise, Jameson? Surely you recognize the place where Craven the Hunter almost had you and your son's fiance killed by the man-wolf. And so they get out of the car, and he's like, that would have been most ironic, since your son John is the man-wolf. He's like, you can't prove that. You're wrong, haven't you guessed who I am yet? And he pulls out a little golden key, and Jonah's all shocked. He's like, Craven spoke of yes, that's right. I'm his mysterious associate. And we get that close-up of his gross goatee, and he's leering under his fedora at him. So we finally found out that mystery. I was thinking that was not going to get solved too.
I know. I was with you. I thought that was going to be dropped for more cosmic storylines, but no.
Does he give a name?
This guy?
Yeah.
His name is Harrison Turk. That's the name he gave to Christine.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great page. I mean, like you said, Matt, they're just every panel is so great and perfect. Like even just and servicing the story and getting it to that point. Like, yeah, just so many good panels.
The writing here, like, because you know how much I enjoy it in a way because it's funny, but typically Silver and Bronze Age's comics have way too much caption shit going on. Golden Age too, and this one's pretty mellowed out in that regard. So the story just rips through.
Yep. Yeah, there's hardly any captions, honestly.
Yeah. Really restrained himself here.
Yeah,
and what I will say is, like, this is like, again, 18 pages and it earns every cent some kid ever put into this fucking comic. I swear to God. But
totally,
the fact that you go to the part that isn't the space werewolf and it still kind of rips, is really cool. And the fact that they set up something with him going, where's that fucking Stroud idiot? And it's like, if you thought Stroud was gonna drop the ball, like, not on his fucking watch, like, he is coming back.
Yeah, he is. On the next page, Turk and Jonah are talking in the front. Turk's like, shut up and get inside. And then he's like, who's that? And there's a car that is just going as fast as possible, squealing tires, screeching brakes. Someone says, who's that? And then, of course, it's Simon Stroud. He says, the name's Simon Stroud, the boy wonder. I busted your buddy Craven and you're next. Get down, Jameson. And just, shoots his gun at Turk.
I want a Simon Stroud title. Did that ever happen?
So do I.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
Yeah.
It'd be like a Doc Savage type title, but
Two-fisted do-gooder. I don't even know what it's like.
Yeah, no, I want to see him fighting Castro like that. Like that's the comic I want. I want we've been talking about the untold tales of Simon Stroud, and I want his CIA. I want him toppling governments. And
for me, it's like it's like he's got to be like Nick Fury's keeping an eye on this guy and grooming him for Shield. I'm sure
Yeah,
like he had to have a Shield tenure. I'd like to think
I would think so.
He runs on coffee, bourbon, cocaine, and that drug from Limitless.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's shooting his crazy shield gun and says, "Stay away from that door, fella," as he's saying to Turk. And Turk says, "God does not obey orders, fool."
I mean, it is pretty awesome too that he refers to himself as the boy wonder and he still looks cool doing it.
Oh yeah.
That's hard to pull off.
It's very hard.
I've tried it several times and just landed on my face.
I yell it at my girlfriend all the time. It never has that effect.
Have you tried it in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think I'm yelling it at?
Yeah. I mean, come on now.
The only two places are in public and in the bedroom.
Those are the two places.
I'm gonna spring it when her family's around. We'll see how that goes.
That's a good idea.
Yes.
So the door.
She listens to these appearances too. So that's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, love it.
So yeah, the door slams shut, and Stroud is out there. He says, "He knew I wouldn't shoot him in the back. He knew it." And Jonah says, "Stroud, he's got Christine inside. What if he uses her as a hostage? What can we do?" And Stroud is now comforting Jonah. He says he might have been bluffing, Jameson. You sure she's inside? And Jonah's kind of losing his shit. He's like, "I don't know, Stroud. I don't know, but I don't want her to die." And Stroud puts his arm around him and says "She won't. I promise you, Jameson, she won't."
This shit is action packed, baby.
Yep.
This is goddamn awesome.
That last panel too.
There ain't no
kind of
running in the woods
angle.
in this comic.
No.
I love that last panel too, Jacob.
Oh, how cool is that? Like just blues, blacks, and whites, and that canted angle of them going towards the car. Yeah, super badass.
And how many times have we seen Jonah cry in this run? Like just having him fleshed out.
Is that weird?
As a person that's vulnerable is just wild. Like how many times it's happened so far. Yeah, and Stroud, I love him banging on the closed gates after God runs in there.
Yeah.
And he's just, that sweater we keep joking about. It's like, it's even tighter now. Like, is he shrinking it?
He is. The angrier he gets, the tighter it gets.
Yeah, and the more grenades fit onto his belt.
That's right.
God. So
it's a tactical
turtleneck, tactical turtle.
Turtleneck. On the next page, we get this cool long panel that runs on the left side of the entire page of all of this crew with their jetpacks and their zip guns shooting straight up, and one of them's holding on to the man-wolf who is bound by some kind of shitty ass. It looks like that cable that Garth tore off to electrocute him with. Yeah, like they tore the rest of it off and tied him up. And it says, "So much for Earth. Right now, crisis is far more immediate in space." And I just love that panel because Man-Wolf's unconscious, and we already know that when he wakes up, that thing's not holding him. No. So we've already got some fun in our immediate future. And on the rest of the page, the rest of the crew we see that was not with Price is like, okay, gravity's been nullified. That means Price and the others have reached the generators. And then there's this weird Daniel Clowes looking drawing in the foreground of another guy going, "Then they're waiting for us as prearranged before launching an offensive on the control area. Let's go."
It does look like a guy
Dan
from
Clowes
8-Ball.
Drawing Sam Rockwell or something. It's a really weird, detailed.
That's a really accurate description, Matt. I gotta say.
And then a little portal opens and Price comes in. He's like, "Not so fast. There's something that needs tending to first. A prisoner." And you have to remember that everyone's just floating. So there's a dude, a mustachio dude, just literally upside down watching Price come in, and people just floating around free, right? And then this bottom panel, this little mini row of three is so great. The man-wolf is in the foreground bound, and Price says, "A human wolf. He's waking up, and he looks angry. Keep a close eye on him, boys, until we get him locked up." And we see a close-up of the man-wolf growling with red eyes, roaring, and then this extreme close-up of him just cast. His fur is red and his eyes are purple as he's just enraged. He's fully awake and realizing, I am not free and you are all fucked.
Everyone's fucked.
Yeah. Love it.
Oh man, that panel on the side of all of them, shooting up in their jetpacks through the, oh god damn it.
Cool. Rules.
It's really good.
It's really cool.
So on the next page we knew it was coming, and so Man-Wolf breaks free of his bonds and starts attacking the soldiers. It's like a 0G free-for-all the next 2 pages, and fuck, it's so great.
Was this the 2-page spread?
No, the 2-page spread is right after that.
Right.
Yeah. It's starting. So what I love about this one is that, first it says, locked up, not likely, for the Man-Wolf has become invincible. His increasing proximity to the moon has brought on increased power. Says Man-Wolf is confused and enraged by the unfamiliar environment. It seems to him that he is among enemies, ergo he attacks. And so, he is crunching metal. And then at the bottom 3 panels, so they all kind of gang up on him. He says, if I fire, I risk hitting our own people. This is Price saying this. And then as they're all kind of ganging up on him, Man-Wolf just brings his 2 fists down and just like sends them flying like bowling pins. It's so badass.
If I fire, I risk hitting my own people.
Yeah.
You're right. It is Heston.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely
you just sold
is.
me.
Yeah.
I mean, in zero gravity, like it'd be hard to get any leverage to really throw these guys, but he's so strong, even without leverage, he can chuck people around because he's like 10 times stronger than all of them.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that
rules.
This woman, part of the team, her hair's floating around like it would in space. Little details to some of the stuff that people might forget sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
So the next page, we get a 2-page spread, which is kind of a variation on the cover. That same type of situation where the Man-Wolf is floating free. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just really quickly.
Yeah.
This comic's only 18 pages long, and it's got fights on a space station, fucking space barbarians who are have a weird kidnap plot and stuff like that. An Earth plot with Stroud kicking some ass like James Bond style, and you would think there's not going to be any room for a 2-page spread. And you'd be fucking wrong. I actually fist bumped when I saw that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This comic rips so hard. Like, it's just like, hey kids, don't worry. You're getting your 2-page werewolf space action hanging on your wall. I love it.
And this is a poster worthy spread here.
Oh, absolutely.
Perez uses the planes of depth so well here. Like in the bottom right-hand corner, there's like a Dr. Octopus looking like conduit electrical thing with a guy's boot. And it just gives us this sense of depth, and it just goes deeper and deeper down. Everyone, getting smaller as they go away. And they're all free floating. And the Man-Wolf is holding one dude above his head. And Price says, because I want a clear shot at our gruesome guest. Be ready to fire in unison when I give the word. And one of his guys is like, but he's got Reynolds. He's like, aim low. It's because the Man-Wolf is holding this guy over his head to body slam him. And he's just like, just aim low then. Don't hit him.
Oh, man.
Aim for the giant werewolf.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of narration here in the corner. It says moon radiation. In some unnatural way, it acts through the glowing pendant that clings like a blood-gorged parasite to John Jameson's breast, and it brings change, metamorphosis from human into surreal man-wolf, and the sheer brutal savagery and abnormal strength of that lupine night beast increases in direct proportion of the amount of moon radiation received. Price does not know this, nor do the others who assail the man-wolf. They only know that he is dangerous and that he must be subdued, and thus the fatal command is given. Fire! So yeah, this is absolute chaos. I love this. This is he's just chucking shit. Some guy came up to him with a giant piece of metal off of one of the walls, and he crumpled it like cardboard in his claw. He's flexing hard here.
Oh my God, the depth of field in this spread, just it's so cool.
It's so cool to see this because it's what Perez is going to come to be known for is obsessively drawing 1 billion characters with a ton of depth of field and it somehow and fitting it all in there and somehow not being confusing or cluttered.
Yep.
Like that is going to be the big team books doing big team action and big crossover events. That's the George Perez thing. And it's like, oh, it's beginning. You can see it beginning here.
Well, yeah, that's what's been so fun about these issues is just to see him coming into his own and starting to use, tricks that he would become famous for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this looks like you should put on special glasses to make it fully 3D.
I know.
And
really?
You're right. There's so much going on and it's so clean. It's not muddled in any way of what is going on.
So yeah, on the next page, the narration says, "Too late, for even in zero gravity, the man-wolf is quick beyond belief." And yeah, so he grabs a red-headed woman, which we see on the previous panel is named Tanya. Someone says, "Tanya, get back!" And he grabs her. She says, "No!" And then Price in full Heston mode comes out and says, "Save the romance for later. We're fighting, remember?"
I mean, that's a Heston line if ever there was one.
It really is.
As he cold cocks the man-wolf from behind.
Yeah. I mean, the guy has no
Charlton
fear.
Heston's the first guy who would punch a werewolf.
Yeah.
In the back of the head.
In the back of the head without hesitating.
Without hesitating. Without even questioning the fact that he's a werewolf.
No,
he lands on the planet of the apes and he just starts kicking ass.
Yeah.
And,
but you're right, Brad. That's the best thing about this character of Price. He's not even drawing attention to the fact that not only they're aliens, but they're like aliens from the He-Man universe have already invaded and taken over his spaceship or his space station. Yeah, nothing phases him. Werewolf, aliens, thigh-high boots. Nothing is going to get this guy down.
I'm sure he's a little weirded out by the thigh-high boots.
Well, he current. Don't we discover in a page or so that he thinks that Man-Wolf is with them, so he thinks he's an alien as well.
I think so. Yeah. So as they're fighting, and then such a cool. So looks like a normal page layout, but then right through the middle of the page, there's a 6 small panel row that shows that the moon is going down over the curvature of the earth. That it says he is beyond defeat. Speaking of the man-wolf, except that is for the inevitable moon down. And it's funny. I was like, okay, they're in a space station that is orbiting the Earth. So I actually was just like, you know what? I'm just going to watch a video of a moon down from the space station, just to be sure this is kind of how it happens and this is a thing. Because remember how we talked about before that if he was just in the middle of space, not in Earth's orbit, the moon would just be there. Mm-hmm. Like it wouldn't go up, it wouldn't go down.
Right. We were wondering if he was in the orbit of the moon, because that would be a perpetual wolf.
Yes.
But we're not sure if it's in its own orbit or if it's I don't think it's in the lunar orbit. I think it's in the Earth orbit.
I think this proves that it's in the Earth orbit because there is definitely a moon rise and a moon down if you're in the space station orbiting Earth. So he is effectively depowered, and Price. I love that Price says, "Jump him while he's hesitating now." And he's saying this upside down in 0G. So awesome. Then the guys are like, "Come on, hustle him inside here. If he can rip through lead and steel a foot thick, then I'm from Nebraska. We've got a small scale war waiting for us, so let's go." So they're just like, you know what? Let's just not worry about this werewolf. We have bigger things to worry about. We're going to throw him in this fucking X-ray chamber.
True.
Yeah,
I need to point out that he says that there's no way he can do this, or I'm from Nebraska, as if in any way that would be a weird thing.
Yeah, I know.
Like
an astronaut from Nebraska. Whoever thought
a dude from Nebraska, like crazy. What a weird line.
It's a very weird line.
Yeah, but like you put in Siam or something, and it's like makes total sense. But
you can put in anything.
Put in anything else.
Or I'm
from Oz.
Or I'm Doris Day. You could do a billion things, and he picked the most actual thing you could be.
Yeah. Or I'm Calamity Jane. That works.
Yeah,
that works better.
Jacob, in that top panel there, he body slammed a guy. So I'm gonna have a little sip of the whiskey.
Okay, having my drink.
And I love that, ultimately, I mean, I know you're going to nitpick, Jacob, because I know you. But ultimately, John's plan to get into the X-ray thing went off without a hitch.
You're right.
There's a couple little wrinkles here and there. But he wanted to get in the X-ray room to be lead-lined and not be turned into werewolf. And, okay, that was a small wrinkle. But
yeah,
I'm just saying mission accomplished.
No, mission accomplished. I'm not going to nitpick at all.
George Bush.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
No, and I think, but that's because this issue is so streamlined. It doesn't have time to kind of figure out, any of that. No, he's immediately in that X-ray chamber at the end of this page, and everything is how it should be.
Yes. And we didn't ultimately narratively need him in the X-ray chamber because Moondown happens. So he didn't need to be in a lead-lined room to get away from lunar radiation. That was going to happen. That happened anyway. But we get a neat little stinger at the end here.
We do.
So yeah, there's an odd little Craftian thing on the next page here. It says, of course, everything is fair in love and war, including surveillance. Which doesn't sound like David Kraft. Like he's the most anti-establishment. Like maybe he's just being snarky and saying that the government's big brother or whatever.
That Rockford Files episode hadn't happened yet. That was all about surveillance. Do you guys remember that one? It was like this weird, like almost PSA Rockford. That at the end it's like this is happening to you in America.
I don't know if I remember that one.
That one. That's a ways out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little ways out. It's like it's late 70s, early 80s, but yeah.
You're asking if I know my Rockford Files, sir.
So we have a little bit of a issue with Kraft's voices coming up here.
Yes.
So we see Lambert, or I'm sure it's Lambert in the outer realms or other realms, whatever. But here I'm just going to say Lambert.
Okay.
Yon natives have outwitted the brute. He's watching all of this going down as they're, putting him in the X-ray chamber. A simple task at best. And Garth says, and yet one at which you failed painfully, Gore. And Gorjun, the big, hairy, dwarfish type of guy, is floating around with his crotch facing us like in zero G's. Like he's just like wiggling around with the comic relief guy. And he's like, stuff it, Blondie. The beast cheated. I ain't exactly an easy mark. So now he's Ben Grimm.
He's Ben Grimm.
They were all talking like Asgardians last issue. And now Garth kind of backslid into the kind of normal parlance. And now this dude's just Ben Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Garth starts with yawn and then just chucks it out the window.
He does.
So, he says, oh, and then they start kind of squabbling, in team fighting. Are you making fun of me? No, just for trying some intelligent conversation, you oaf. Maybe I'll let my staff do my talking for me. And Lambert says, enough. This is no time for banter. Price and his men are on the way. And they look back at the screens and see them shooting up that air shaft or ventilation shaft. All of them? All save two, left behind with the beast. Methinks I sense a way, says the guy who just was like, I'll murderize ya. And then Garth says, to obtain the Godstone and be off this station. And Lambert says, exactly. And then Garth flies off with a plan to just go through the corridors because everyone's using ventilation shafts as tactical approaches. And he's like, I'll just go down the hall and just go get the beast then. And he tells Gorjun to hold down the fort. And while he's gone and he's back to Ben Grimm, don't worry, Garth, I wouldn't even think of leaving without you.
God, his speech is just so strange. Well, didn't he told him to suck an egg last
he did tell him to suck an egg.
So, he's been talking like Ben Grimm for a little while now, and it's confusing.
Methinks?
Then he does drop a
methinks we're not on Yancey Street anymore.
Yeah.
It's clear he's watching a lot of Earth television.
Yeah, probably right.
I'm waiting for him to say "kiss my grits."
Yeah. Oh man! So on the next page, we cut to the opposite side of the space station, where we find a soldier X-raying the man wolf, only to discover that he's turned into a man. And so he says, "Yeah, the man wolf has changed, become more human right before my eyes." Then we switch to John, who was in his Colonel John Jameson. He's like, where am I? Last I remembered, I was outside the station. Someone must have helped me here to the X-ray lab. So does he not? So he doesn't have any memory.
Not when he has full lunar exposure. I think
when he's full man wolf, he's too
John's not home.
Yeah, John's not home at all. And so, so he's like, that means they know I'm the man wolf. And so he says out loud, he's like, okay, open up. It's safe now. Why so silent? Don't you recognize me? I'm Colonel John Jameson.
And he's putting the sexy eyes out there. Like
he's putting the sexy eyes. He's just like, oh shit, I'm famous. So these fuckers know who I am. So I got to turn on the charm.
Open the door.
Yeah.
You will open the door.
I like his design here too.
Yeah, I do too.
John Jameson.
Yeah, it's badass.
They finally settled on a design for him, and I like this one.
Yeah, he's kind of Robert Redford-y. I like it.
And so we, the X-ray tech that I'm going to call him now, so he says, "No, you're not. That's what you'd like me to believe, but the trick is a little too obvious. You look like him, even sound like him, but I ain't convinced." And then I love that we get a name for this guy. John's like, "Hey, I remember you, Jersey Cooper. You were in training at the Cape when I returned there from my last moon flight. Don't you know me?" And yeah, Jersey is like, "John?" But okay, so go on, Matt.
I love those inset panels. Why this exchange is happening between the walls. There's the other guy, because there's two people there watching the beast. And this other dude, you can see Garth creeping up in the background in zero G's, like pulling himself along the walls towards this dude who's totally oblivious. It's
the coolest part of the page. And yeah, it's so strange. Like in the inset panels aren't really almost in a pattern or anything. They just are kind of, it's weird. A strange, weird layout, but it somehow works. Like it's almost like Perez was working so fast and then he's like, oh shit, that's right. I need to go back and do this. And even in going back and adding things, it still works out perfectly because he's a fucking master. But yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say in that last inset panel. Yeah. We see Garth just go and throttle the guy.
I'd like to think that Jersey Cooper is a reference to Gordon Cooper.
Okay.
The Merc 7 astronaut.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, we get in that final panel, not the inset, but the final main panel, we see Jersey Cooper and he says, "Lord, I want to let you out, but I'm just not sure, John. How can I be sure?" And yeah, but as that last inset panel shows, Garth is upon him.
"I am so sorry about the doom machine flying overhead. Jesus Christ. Apparently it's the annual fucking helicopter parade.
I actually can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear the
copter.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
I hear the dogs more than the copter.
Yeah.
It was, that one little yippy fucking dog. No, it's this giant fucking metal beast just went overhead. Sorry.
No.
I love Jersey's last panel of his, that close-up of his face, again, where it's that kind of EC, crime suspense stories kind of thing, where he's all yellow and it's like the red, Detour or something.
Yeah, the red background. It does look like a guy from Detour.
So yeah, on the next page, Jersey's saying, how can I be sure it's you? I can't. Or he's like saying, how can I be sure? And then on the next page, Garth swoops down from above in zero G's and says, you can't, and grabs him with two hands around the head from the top. Well, I thought he was going to break his fucking neck. The first time I read this, I was like, holy shit, did he just snap his neck? And John's inside. We get this weird panel of John where I guess it's him turning his head, because you can see the glowing moonstone, but his head's turned, I don't know, it's weird, but it's all almost entirely in shadow. I love the layout of it.
Yeah.
And John's like, hey, what's going on out there? And Garth says, Jersey just took a nap so that we can escape. Who? I'm Garth. And the last time we met, you weren't so articulate or so human. If not for the Godstone, I wouldn't even know you. And we cut back to Lambert, and he's watching this whole thing play out on a screen. And Garth says, come on, we don't have much time. I'll explain as we go. And we miss out on some serious explanation as we find out on the next page, because John's been filled in on something we are not privy to yet.
Yeah. Which
sucks, because this got canceled. So whatever John learned, we would not have found out if they didn't pick it up and put it in Premiere. So yeah, Lambert sees this going on and he turns this, hark ye, they start back, Gorjun. And Gorjun's standing there just like batting away these dudes that are coming through this ventilation shaft because they saw them coming the whole time. And he's like, what do I care, Lambert? This is sport such as I enjoy, but rarely. And we get a cool shot of all the dudes that he's hitting with his quarterstaff just flying down like, in zero G's, just backwards down the shaft. And Price is down there and he's like, okay, the jig is up. Surrender immediately. Your primitive swords and staffs are obsolete against zip guns. And then Gorjun's staff shoots out a cool looking green laser. And Price just looks up like, whoa! Very, very anime kind of reaction. Ah!
Yeah, but I mean, so yeah, he just thinks they're armed with sword and staff, but yeah, he finds out that Gorjun,
they have a spaceship.
Yeah, he has lasers in his fucking staff. So.
They just choose to dress like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, when he probably heard him say "methinks" and "forsooth," and he's like, "Okay, these guys are all Ren Fair morons."
Yeah,
from another dimension.
And we see on the next page, Gorjun replies, he's like, "Primitive, are they? Ha, you're the primitives here." Another zap of the zip gun. He's like, "Yow!" He says, "Try it again, insolent old man," and zaps at him again. And then, yeah, we cut to John and Garth and Lambert. And we realize now that Garth has been explaining all this shit to John as they've been going through the corridors. And he says, "Good going, fellows. Now suit up and be quick about it. A strategist Price isn't, and we've got business elsewhere." And Price says, that's Lambert says, "What about the youth?" And John says, "Garth convinced me. I'm coming along with you to the other realm." And Garth says, "He must. The Godstone is one with him." So this is the panel where you're like, "Oh shit, this just leveled up again."
Yeah,
that sentence is so cool.
Oh man,
he must. The Godstone is one with it.
And the other realm suddenly.
Yeah,
and in the previous panel, we see John with the stone. There's no pretense of the hemp neck. This is not a necklace. This is not a pendant.
No,
it is just free. It's attached. It is one with him. It's creepy now.
I love Marvel comics when you take a line out and they sound like a good Monster Magnet lyric, or sometimes they are like the Fantastic Four. Like, there's two suns in the sky today.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Nobody looks into the eyes of the Gorgon and lives. You know.
Yep.
And that fucking, the Godstone is one with him. I'm like, that's so fucking cool. I wish somebody would say that about me. That rips.
We say it casually behind your back, but never.
We'll record it next time we say it.
Yeah.
So Price is not having any of this. He's like, "That grinning Neanderthal hasn't shown his ugly face for at least 5 minutes. They're up to something, I know it." And then he zips through the corridor in another just badass panel. We just need to have a little sequence. I might just put a sequence of those up on Instagram.
Maybe that's what I should yell at my girlfriend. The Godstone is one with me.
Me, the boy wonder.
If I may, if you are listening, dummy, love you.
Yeah.
You can send me those as well, and I can maybe do a little animation thing.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and so, as Price is going up the shaft, he says, "And I intend to find out what it is, even if I am risking my own neck. I've never been able to resist taking a chance. That's what keeps me so young. And if I'm a space-age cowboy, then this is the showdown." And he expects everyone to be there, and he's got a zip gun drawn, like a super badass. But
presenting his crotch right in our faces.
He's like, "Huh, they're gone."
Yeah, just another page of just fucking awesome zip action. Like, just it doesn't stop. And I love when John has made that decision, the inking around, like there's this weird shadow where the light is behind him, so his face is like cast in shadow. The bridge of his nose is dark, his cheekbones are dark, and he just looks kind of haunted. Like, he knows something we don't know now. And the lighting is kind of highlighting that.
It's so weird, though. I mean, that panel is so important, but it's enhanced by even the border of the panel is a thick,
super
dark
thick
line.
Stroke. Yeah,
like, that's such a cool storytelling device.
And I love the coloring when Price realizes that they're probably gone, and the coloring of the shaft like turns from dark purple to light purple to blue to green. Like, just you didn't have to do that. That could have been yellow or gray, right?
Yeah,
but it shows the depth of it, and it creates this illusion of space, which is so strong in here. So he enters that room where they were previously. He looks out the window and sees the rocket ship that John was in, right? This is the hate monger ship that he stole.
Yep.
Taken off. And he's like, "But how could they? We still hold one of them captive. I don't understand." And he sees that they're in their suits, like kind of doing a spacewalk towards the rocket that's getting ready to leave. And he says, "Unless they're going after reinforcements, but where do they come from? And anyway, and why? And then we get a shot inside of that ship that's leaving with the trio of oddballs. And John has some natty new togs on.
Yes, he does.
I guess these are other realm space suits. Like, it's still his color theme. You know, he's still got Oregon Ducks kind of colors going on, but
they had one for him.
And it has an American flag on it. I don't understand. Maybe there was one in that
You
control
don't
room?
need to understand it. You need to feel it.
Okay.
You just need to feel it.
So John's
Okay.
at the controls here, and Gorjun has the staff right up in his face, and he's like, "You volunteered for the trip. Now quit belly aching and lay a course for the moon before I get violent." And John's like, "All right, I will." Jesus, fuck.
Jeez. Damn.
And we see the ship going. He's like, "But I can't control the change," because as the rocket's going, it's revealing the moon around the Earth. And he says, "And the ship is going to crash." And Gorjun says, "What?" And then we get this huge fucking glorious panel at the bottom of what was John in the captain's chair, whipping his head around as a man wolf and going, "Rawr," and his eyes have a glint in them as he roars with the longest, sharpest fangs we have seen on him yet.
What
And
an
the moon,
amazing
full
panel.
moon, just watching over this in the background in space. Oh,
Yeah. What can forget
Beautiful.
about it? So good.
all right. Take it away, Jacob. This is it.
All right, man, our final panel. It says simultaneously aboard the space wheel. It's a little circular panel at the top left. It's our two fellas. One of them says, "Jersey, look at this X-ray. I don't believe it." He says, "That stone is a symbiotic. The stone is symbiotic, alien. It coexists with John Jameson in his own body. But for what sinister purpose?" And we get such a badass full page illustration of an X-ray of the man wolf. And we see the moonstone, and it has like pink tendrils that go through John's entire body. So we realize that
it's so awesome.
it's so
Yeah.
awesome. It's like, so not only has the stone been grafted to his neck, but has been permanently attached throughout his
Nervous
circulatory
system
system, nervous system. Like, holy shit. Like,
It's
just-
weird because these guys, like, they're to what sinister purpose? And you think, being like scientists, that they clearly know that the purpose is to rock.
Yeah. Well, that's what Ralph Sarson would say if he was there.
Oh, rocks.
Yeah, rocks. Yeah, and then we don't get a teaser for next issue because there is no next issue. Instead, we get a little box at the bottom that says "Bulletin. See our letters section for a special bullpen message."
Yeah. Do you want to do that before we do final thoughts? Or
Yeah, let's do that for final thoughts, I think.
Okay, so this is Creature Features, which was the name of the letters column. And it says, "Of Star Gods and Sales Figures. Not quite a year ago, after George Perez and I had completed our first Man-Wolf story, I composed a brief text feature to appear here on the letters page as introduction of sorts. Now, we've just finished our 5th chapter in the saga of the Silvery Moon Beast, and I'm writing what amounts to an epilogue. This is the last issue of Creatures on the Loose. Fortunately, at least, there's time enough to include this last-minute informal explanation and to tie up a few plot threads left unresolved at the end of this issue's cliffhanger. Right now, you're probably wondering why the book was canceled, so I'll get that out of the way first. Sales, of course, are generally the deciding factor, but not totally. I'm told that, perhaps surprisingly, Creatures has been doing well on the newsstands, but not well enough. Once a title has been established for, say, 37 issues, it's next to impossible to get distributors to accept more than the usual allotment of copies. One way around that would be to give Man-Wolf his own book, and to start with a larger print run. That idea was given very serious consideration, but Marvel is already launching a plethora of new books and series, and it was decided in the end that it would be better to concentrate the creative juices and apply them toward the new endeavors, rather than attempt to relocate the Man-Wolf in his own book at this time. Had we known this several months ago, George and I would have arranged for the current storyline to end neatly with this issue. Alas, we did not. An unfortunate reality of the publishing business is that, far more often than not, advance warnings just aren't possible. Which means that, unless the Man-Wolf series is reestablished somewhere else, there's little immediate chance of seeing the 2-part origin, which was scheduled to begin with the next number. At the end of this issue, John and his 3 alien associates are plunging out of control toward the moon, where an ancient trans-dimensional gateway allows entry to an alternate universe. Garth and his companions came from there, seeking a legendary stone which embodies the god essence of their entire race. By studying the secret books left behind by a mighty god who walked their world eons ago and saved their race, they had learned of the portal to our moon, where he had finally gone to die, yet where the Godstone lived on, waiting. Also searching desperately for the Godstone is Harrison Turk, to whom Garth referred to at the end of number 36 by saying, "This man-wolf's life means nothing to one in search of the Weirdstone." With the aid of the stone, Turk anticipates becoming all-powerful in that other realm. But not knowing of the gateway on the moon, he had his sorcerers breach a cosmic pathway which led to Earth, where he assumed the stone to be located. He was correct, for unknowingly John Jameson had selected the Godstone as a souvenir on his last moon flight. On Earth, the living stone began its symbiotic relationship with John by attaching itself to his throat. In the other realm, it would have imparted the attributes of a god to Jameson. But here, only enough catalytic essences from that alternate universe were transmitted via reflected sunlight to start the change. Thus, John Jameson became the man-wolf, an unreasoning beast only a step along the way to realizing full potential as a star god, capital S.
Amazing.
When Garth and his friends realized the stone had been removed from the moon, they correctly deduced that it had been taken to Earth. Jetpacking to the orbiting space station, which was in close proximity, they outwitted E. Hammond Price and his crew. By terminating all communication with Earth, they knew a ship would be sent to investigate, and they planned to commandeer it for a trip to our world, the better to search for the Weirdstone. Coincidentally, John Jameson arrived wearing it. Seeing that it had already affixed itself to his throat and couldn't be removed without killing him, Garth determined to bring John back to the other realm, there to aid in the struggle against Harrison Turk. I won't go into all the details here, just in case we ever get around to actually doing the origin tale. But eventually, an intelligent and invincible man-wolf, or more appropriately star god, along with a body crew of followers, accosts Turk in his impregnable castle atop a floating mountain over a living sea, only to find that Turk has brought Christine along with him to this alternate universe to use as a hostage. More than that, I won't say. I know it still leaves a lot to be explained, but at least I've covered most of the basics, so you won't be left hanging after this issue's open end with 24 important questions on your mind. Thank whatever fates there be that, at least this once, we were able to slip in a last-minute explanation, albeit somewhat after the deadline, truth to tell. Doing this series has been a lot of fun for all of us here, especially George and myself, and we hope that you've gotten some pleasure and entertainment out of it along the way. We're only sorry it had to end so soon. Farewell, people. Dave Kraft.
Wow.
Mr. Kraft, Dave, if you will, I can call you Dave, right? You don't need to explain shit. That would have all been sick as fuck. It's very clear Marvel was too afraid for how hard that would rock. It might cause a cataclysmic event. I mean, shift some tectonic plates, change the properties of matter. That sounds amazing. And a motherfucking star god. See, this rips.
I mean, we are getting 2 more issues, and so
if I don't see the Star God and his crew above a living sea storming a fucking castle, like, this is fucking awesome.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's so badass, and I know we probably won't get the entire saga that Kraft had planned out, but we get 2 pretty awesome issues of Marvel Premiere, 45 and 46. That we're going to be dealing with next, and that's gonna take us to the other realm.
Is it Kraft and Perez still?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yes.
Yeah, so it's not done. We got 2 more episodes of wackiness before we go into
Earth.
Yeah,
they better have that fucking living sea. I swear to Christ.
I knew you'd like that when I was reading that. I was like, oh, Brad's gonna like the living sea thing.
Oh God, how fucking rad. So, I mean, final thoughts, gentlemen. Brad, you're our guest. You got to go first.
Rips. Rules. I loved it. It's sort of interesting, this issue. I don't know if it's Kraft continuing or before so much, but in this issue, he's kind of doing what would become the type of pacing The just rip through pacing reminds me of like Claremont's X-Men, but without the like soap opera dialogue or monologuing, you know. But it has just that like, this is 18 pages, and it's like there's so much gets done in 18 pages. It's like, and here's J. Jonas, and there's J. Jonah Jameson, and this whole little subplot that works out in 2 pages, and this is space fights, and now we're headed to the fucking moon to go to the fucking other realm with some barbarians. It's a whole lot of bang for your buck, like really using the comic book form to just give. It's also the type of storytelling that you'd see in Star Wars, you know, where it's so propulsive, you know.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm curious to flip through what they were publishing at this time to see what didn't get the axe over this, because I mean, he was folding in Conan, he was folding in, I don't know, all Weird World stuff and stuff that was really popular. I mean, fantasy was storming the sales at this point, right? I mean, all the Conan.
If would one of the titles be Werewolf by Night? Not launching, but be running at this time.
Yeah, but it was almost dead.
It's almost dead. Well, we've talked about before that, you know, the monster books weren't selling as well. And so, you know, Werewolf by Night pivoted to where John would be able to talk in his werewolf form. We see Man-Wolf pivoting to more of a fantasy thing. So, but both titles were axed. So, yeah.
I was just wondering if those were running concurrently.
At this point
Does
in
this
time?
run? Yeah. Is this run? Yeah. Okay. Word.
Yeah, I think Werewolf by Night got canceled in 76 or 77. I can't remember. It went to bi-monthly as well towards the end.
I thought it was the end of 76. So yeah, I mean, you know, Marvel's strategy throughout the 70s, as we've talked about in other episodes, just flood the market, flood it, try and push everybody out. But I also think that's a great ingredient that gives us this Bronze Age bizarre storytelling, is that, you know, and you don't have editors who are, you know, really want to oversee everybody. They're overwhelmed. So you have these writers that are just pulling out these batshit ideas and just trying to fill their books, but also trying to pivot away from monsters. And so this is a perfect example of what you get when all these ingredients come together. You get Star God, you get something, even though, I mean, we'll talk about this in the next 2 episodes, but Kraft has alluded in interviews that he had this story before he even came to Marvel. Like, I think he even started writing this story when he was like in high school.
Yeah,
it feels like something
story.
a high schooler would come up with, you know?
You know, the other realm.
In the best possible way. Like,
I meant that as a compliment.
On a peachy.
Unrestrained and in love with what it's doing, and just absolutely bug nuts. Like, it's great.
Yeah, like, just loving Howard, loving Moorcock, loving like all just the crazy fantasy stuff, you know? Like, I'm always down for that stuff.
It's like, well, of course he has to hijack a space station to get an X-ray. Like, don't think about it. It just rocks, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how cool, you know, that Kraft, I mean, it's cool to read that explanation at the end, even though he didn't need to do it. He didn't need to qualify anything to make us think that it's cool. But how cool for him to retrofit his story into you know, Jameson finding the rock on the moon and attaching it to himself. Like, it's a way better explanation.
Yeah, it's not a moonstone.
It's interesting. I'm not like hyper familiar with Kraft, and he seems to be more akin to Gerber and McGregor and those Grant Morrison people, and Starlin, of just like, you know, they're counterculture people, and they're having a blast and writing really weird shit, possibly under the influence, although you don't know. I think it was Gerber was straight, right?
Yeah,
like he's like Gerber notoriously the straight guy, and where it's like Starlin and Englehart are just like fucking gobbling up acid. But I'm like, man, I don't know this guy too well as a writer, but I'd say what him and Perez and Kita did here rules. What a fun comic book. What a can you imagine buying this up? I say this on other issues, and they're all kind of fun in that way. One of your guests had just put it so simply. She wasn't. She was the musician who did the Jimmy Buffett covers.
Oh yeah, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Yes, I loved when she referred to not being familiar with comics, but reading it and going like, this is like a psychedelic experience. It's like almost overwhelmingly psychedelic. Even when it's not trying to be, they just are by nature of being comics, you know? But this one is great. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. What did this cost? 25 cents? Are they at 25 yet?
25 cents,
Yeah. You got 25 cents worth here.
Yeah, you know? That's a screaming steal right there.
Yeah. I feel bad for the kid who picked that comic up and then tried to read like another comic and it's just never going to get that good again.
No.
I mean, I think I picked mine up in a long box, like in junior high or 6th grade or something like that. And I read it several times, just super frustrated. Like, I'm coming in, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have the record of when he fought Spider-Man. That's all I know about this guy. And now this really cool thing is happening, and then it's apparently done. Yeah. And it just pissed me off. Sorry, Jacob, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna add to what Brad said. I mean, the coolness. I mean, this issue is full of Bronze Age weirdness and greatness. And Kraft, I think he's doing his Defenders run at this point too, which I'm very curious about. I haven't read it.
That's right. Yeah, he's okay.
I think when we were talking to Michelle from Moonlit, she's read the Defenders run, I thought, and had really good things to say about it.
Yeah, it's really quirky. That's him. That's right. Yeah.
He didn't start it though, right?
No, it's Gerber, I believe, right?
Gerber started Defenders? Okay. I think I'm going to read Defenders then.
Engelhardt.
Based on Gerber and Kraft, I think I would read Defenders.
I think the Defenders is where there's the deer. That's a villain.
Yeah, and there's the Blue Oyster Cult references.
So this.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like a Blue Oyster Cult song.
It really does.
It really does.
No, and I really love what Fred Kita brought to this. He brought that golden age streamlined style that I think really worked storytelling wise for this issue. I think it really packed a punch, and I think that was a huge part of it. So yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled with this issue.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry.
My last little note is, while not maybe as like in this issue as like deep as some of his weird contemporaries are doing, like on Warlock and shit like that, or whatever the fuck, or trying to be deep, like McGregor, you know, or whatever. And I love McGregor, but like this is pretty thin thematically, which is fine because it's like themes. Motherfucking werewolf in space. Who needs themes and subtext? I really loved this comic. It made me fist bump twice. The double page splash, I was just like, yes.
Well, that's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to what you guys said. I love this issue. I love the pacing. I love the art. Kita's inks and stuff like that. Like, seem to really be a good match for this, because like the sterile environment of a space station, his cleanliness really kind of accented that and made all the stuff that's happening inside of it really pop and really sing. And I absolutely love it. I would like to go to Earth 2, where this went on for a good 2 or 3 years, and had just a crazy run. There's a big hardcover omnibus on my shelf, but alas and alack.
I feel like I just freebased like Pop Rocks and fucking Mountain Dew. Like it's like this crazy sugar rush of a comic, you know?
Yeah, totally. I love it. And now I have Chuck Heston's voice in my head. Narrating everything. All right, so we have to do that little thing now. We'll have to. I love to do this, where we thank our Pack brothers and Pack sisters, and one of them's right here, Brad Elmore. Thank you so much for supporting us. You make what we do possible, and we appreciate you. And there's also Michael G., Tim Tucker, Brian from Marvel by the Month, Josh Link, Jeff Fitzpatrick, Caleb, Ben M., Michelle from Moonlight Comics, Mark Nivens, Rob Haferman, Russ from Tomes of Evil, Eric Hadley, Johnny Turner, Jackson T. Overstreet, and Tony Iupi. Thank you all for supporting us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, we have something special for you coming up this week on the bonus show. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're not doing our normal reviews of a film and other stuff. We're going to be serving up some old-time radio werewolf episodes from random horror shows. Give you a little bit of a break from us.
Yeah, Matt, you've been curating these for a while. I know you love old time radio shows, as I do too. And you've put together a nice little playlist almost of a bunch of different of these shows. And yeah, so these are maybe like from the 30s to the 50s, I'm assuming. And
yeah, I don't do a lot of old time radio from the 30s because the existing sources are so shit
that's true.
Sometimes the audio infidelity gets in the way of actually listening to the content. So
yeah,
if it's a rebroadcast from the 50s or something from the 50s or whatever, I try and jump on those as much as possible. So yeah, we'll do a short little thing and give you kind of a break and give you that chance to sit in front of your radio and get your decoder ring out and enjoy a little bit of old time horror.
That sounds good. We'll also be taking a week off next week. I'll be moving. Matt's going to be busy with his wife's birthday party, playing a show like we had talked a little
Unacceptable.
bit.
This is all unacceptable. That means that I'm going to have this episode I won't listen to because I'm on it.
We have 2 weeks off.
And then another week. Nope, I'm not going to allow this.
We'll put on a rerun. It'll be your first appearance.
God,
I know.
Well,
I know.
Okay, I can just record me just going through the MSN.com front page of news.
Hurts
What's
me
going
right
on
here.
today?
For the listeners who can't see where it hurts me, I'm pointing to my heart. Okay.
But yeah, after we take the week off, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about Marvel Premiere 45. We're going to have a special guest, which I'm just going to say it's comic author Joe Keating.
Yes, I'm excited.
Oh, right on.
Oh, so we're very, very excited to that. I'm a huge fan of Joe's, and I'm a fan of his comics. I've read his Morbius run. Shudder is one of my favorite comics that I just had bound and had a little extra for our Patreon subscribers. But I really got to know his comic historian side listening to his appearances on Marvel by the Month. He's been on there probably about a dozen times. And God, that guy knows his shit. So I was just like, and I know he's into Bronze Age weirdness. So we reached out to him. We're just like, hey, would you want to talk about the transition between terrestrial John Jameson and Star God of the other realm? And he got back to us right away and said, hey, you're speaking my language. I'm in. This is my wheelhouse. Great. So
that's so cool. That's so bitching.
Yeah, we're really excited. I'm excited to talk to him about that. He's going to be a great guest. So that will be we'll come back strong.
Yes.
After taking a week off with Marvel Premiere 45.
And Jacob's finally following through on all of his threats to move several counties away from me.
Yep. It's going to happen. Not happy about it, but it's going to happen. And we're in that weird stage of the majority of our house is just packed up and we're just kind of sadly wandering between rooms.
Yes. You without your records behind you, it just feels really weird.
Oh yeah, it feels very weird.
It feels like you're floating upside down with a zip gun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, although there's no gravity in here, I'm not surrounded by records and books and comics, which is where I'm happiest. And so yeah, this is a strange thing for me. I had left out my I
knew you were bereft of talismanic power.
Right? You could just feel something was wrung.
How is that not a lyric?
Yeah, that's a Blue Oyster Cult lyric.
Start a band.
I know. I should really think about that writing thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, you should check that out. I think you might have a gift.
Maybe.
So just to one last thing. So we have announced we've settled on Son of Satan for season 4. But we don't have that name, as we mentioned. So if you want to go to patreon.com/werewolf by night podcast, you can chuck in a name to the pile. We've got a pretty big spreadsheet going of suggested names. And we mentioned
I'd like to thank the public for picking the right choice on Son of Satan.
I knew,
Even though you were
that.
all deprived of the Warlock option, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I realized like about 4 days after posting that poll, like, oh shit, I always wanted to read Deathlock. That would have probably fit in, but oh well.
Now. No, Brad. So well, you know, we're still going to do our special bonus episode on the Supernaturals with you. That's definitely going to happen.
Hell yeah!
But you know, maybe we'll have another special episode for the Patreon. That's just us talking about Warlock for an hour and a half.
I'm a utility player. I'm here for whatever you guys want to do.
Right on.
And
I'm down. So you can suggest names for our rebranded. After we come back after Werewolf by Night season 3, we will need a new name, and we want to reflect that we're not committed to any one character. But Jacob just said a phrase that made me think of, like, if you're trying to caress our tender bits and make us happy, Bronze Age weirdness. Those are the words you want to take into your brainstorming session. Bronze Age weirdness.
Yep. That's what we're all about.
That's how you're going to get us.
That's our special place that we love to go. So we're going to stay there.
Right on. All right, Brad. Lovely to see you and talk to you again. Always a pleasure. Love your wild mane. Mighty hair.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It's majestic.
It is majestic.
Love y'all. And this was great. It's yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be talking to you soon. And till we meet again, neath the full moon, furry ones, here's howling at you.